So as we know, there's two by-elections coming up at the end of May. And it's going to be interesting, I suppose, but considering all the protests with the farmers, not so much in rural areas as Dublin Central, which is a very deprived area, but not so much a rural community. And then you have obviously Galway West too, Catherine Connolly's out there on the Heron, the President of Ireland, God help us all, seat that has to be filled too. So basically two Dáil seats that have to be filled. Now, it's going to be interesting, as I say, about the protests. A lot of people are very upset with the government, especially sending in the army, so it's probably not going to go well for Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. Not much loss for anybody. But yeah, and of course, Patrick's going to meant to say went off to the World Bank with €10 million. Nothing's ever been said about that again. But long story short, and I say this to the people of Dublin's Central and Galway West, to vote the most radical person that you can get. Now, we all know that the Hutch is going for it. To be totally honest, I don't know. To be totally honest, if the Hutch would be the person they should go for, because at the moment in time, what I'm about, I suppose, at the moment is to vote the most anti-establishment person you could find, basically, just to annoy the system. Because what we need in this country is just to annoy the system and to really upset the system. Like Sinn Féin, People Before Profit, Labour Party, all them, they can go to hell. Basically, you might as well vote for Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, because Sinn Féin is no opposition party. Sinn Féin are no good at all. To be totally honest, they're not the party they used to be. So Sinn Féin is not the option. But of course, it's your own opinion. If you wish to vote Sinn Féin, you can. If you want to vote Labour Party, you can. If you want to vote Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, you can. It's entirely up to you. But I'm just saying, considering the protests, considering the amount of people coming in here from Timbuktu, etc., getting free stuff, etc., the huge discontent with that, the amount of people suffering with house and etc., the amount of young Irish people having to leave because they've nothing here for them. The list goes on, if you want more of that, you vote for Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael. You might as well. But the same with Sinn Féin, because they wouldn't be much better, to be totally honest with you. But I would say vote the most radical candidate you can. Now I don't know. We don't know much tomorrow who all the candidates are. We probably will have a look at the candidates when the time comes, because they still have a time to put their name forward. It's tomorrow evening, I think it is, in the two constituencies. The last call, basically, for them to put their names down. But there's a good few candidates. It's about maybe 12 or so in Dublin Central. But yeah, we see what happens. Obviously, Dublin Central being very deprived area, very crime-ridden, a lot of homelessness, etc., a lot of joblessness, because it's a very deprived area, the most deprived area in the country. The north in the city, etc. And then obviously Galway West too. It's a bit more different than that area of Dublin. But still, I hope that they vote the most radical candidate that really will upset the establishment. Now, I would say vote for Gerry Hutch, but I don't know. We have to see who. I know Mackenzie Stevenson, this independent candidate councillor, looking for a seat in Dáil Éireann. He's going for two. And I really would say you vote for Malachy Stevenson too. I don't know who else you could vote for at the moment in Dublin Central. I don't know about Galway West either. But I would say vote the most pro-Irish anyway, first of all, and anti-establishment, the most anti-establishment postman to get the sticker to the establishment, because that's what needs to be done. Especially if we remember the presidential election, so many people spoiled their vote, etc. There's a lot of distrust within the system, and there should be distrust because the system is broken. The system is out to get people. It really is out to get Irish people. There's no other way of putting it. So it's better to fight the system by rejecting the system, by turning the system on its head. That's pretty much what my goal is in life nowadays. In any vote, is to turn the system. It's just to reject the system. Is to basically just to swap the system as much as humanly possible. Because that's the only way to fight the system, unfortunately, because the system is just so established and so corrupt and so evil. But we see what happens. But, as I said to people, my advice would be to vote for the most anti-establishment. We won't know until tomorrow who exactly is going for it. But I would nearly say, vote for an independent if you can, of course. Independent would be the best way to go. Somebody that's very radical and somebody that's going to make change happen or cause a lot of trouble in Dáil Éireann for the politicians. As I said, Malachy Stevenson, probably would be the best option too. I don't know about the Hutch, but it would be comical to see it in the newspapers across the world that the Hutch got into Dáil Éireann and stuff, because let's be fair, they're all criminals in Dáil Éireann, so it's just kind of be putting the cherry on the pie, let's put it that way, and it would show them up nicely, across the world. So it's that too, and then you have that. But I don't know. As I say, it's up to the people of Dublin Central. I'm from Cavan. I have no say in this election. I say to the people, trust whoever you think is the best. whoever you think can lead the country. Not so much if they're a good person or anything that day has to go. If they're a good person and stuff like that, and I know them since I was a child, and Osher Jesus, I know their father and Osher Jesus. That day has to go in this country, because for too long there's been politicians. I knew their father, I knew their mother, I vote for them because of that. That's pretty much some of what happens in the countryside here in some parts of Cavan and stuff. I knew their father, I knew their grandfather, I vote for them. Not looking at the policies and stuff like that. It's the same with Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael. That's why they're going extinct at the moment. Because obviously when the older voters die off, there's nobody to replace them. Because the younger people are not really very worried about if I know your grandfather and stuff like that. They're worried about putting a roof over their head. And of course Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael can't provide that. Unless you're new to the parish, of course, they can do that. But let me know what you think. What do you think? Who are you going to vote for? If you're in Galway West or Dublin North in the city, who are you going to vote for? Who are you looking at? And let me know, because it'd be interesting just to see what people are thinking. Thank you.